Thank you so much for joining me today on Senior Fitness with Meredith. So today what we will work on is our balance. Such an important topic, such an important thing for us to not forget to do to add to all the different types of workouts that we do. So what you will need is a nice sturdy chair. You'll need something to hold on to. We'll start our workout standing, but we will eventually have a seat. So even if you're holding on to a countertop or wall, have something that you can sit on that is stable for you to just do a couple of core exercises and a couple of light stretches in. Majority will be standing though, so make sure you're comfortable with that. Have your water close by because we'll take those water breaks and then I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. We are ready to start with our balance workout. So what we'll do, again, holding on to something nice and stable, bring those feet about shoulder distance apart, a nice stable base, and then we keep that slight bend in our knee joints. Core is tight, crown of the head goes straight up towards the sky, and we keep those shoulders relaxed down. If we're holding on to something, light pressure. Remember, when we're doing all of our exercises with balance, try not to lose your core because you're relying on holding on to something. You're losing your posture, you're losing your core. It's light pressure that you're holding with. We'll start with our heel raises. Nice and lifted, high onto the balls of the feet, release down. Those heels up, release. Again, those shoulders are relaxed. Core pulled in tight, lengthen the spine, keep the crown of the head straight up towards the sky. Exhale, inhale, heels up, release. Exhale, inhale. 3 more. 3, 2, last one, little shakeout. We'll do our side steps next. Again, if you're holding on to something, you'll hold on and you'll step out to the right, bring your feet together, step left, feet together. Side to side steps as wide as you feel comfortable. Again, if holding on, you don't need to do that. Maybe take that hand off for a couple of steps. Working our lateral movement side to side. Slight bend in the knees. Again, as we concentrate on our movements, we want to lose our core, open up through the chest, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more each way. 2, 1 more each way. We'll find our way back to our nice stable base with those feet shoulder distance apart. Let's alternate pulling our toes up now. So we pull our right toes, pull our left. As you're pulling those toes up, a lot of times we want to stick those hips back because we get better range of motion. I don't want that. I want you staying nice and lifted, trying not to allow the hips to go back because we are working on strengthening those ankle joints, strengthening those feet as we pull those toes up and strengthening through our shins, the front of our legs. So don't let those hips go back. Nice and lifted. 3 more. 2, last one, little shakeout. Side leg raise, one side at a time. We'll start with the right. Nice and tall, slight bend in that standing knee joint, leading from that right heel. Leg lifts out to the side and release. Keeping that slight bend, nice and tall. Again, that string is pulling from your heel. You want to feel your hip, your outer thigh, and your gluteals engage. Range of motion doesn't have to be super high. We just don't want those toes going up to the sky. As soon as they go up towards the sky, you're right into your hip flexor, right into the front of the body again. We work that all day long as we're walking. 3 more. 3, 2, last one, little shake out of that standing leg. It starts to feel it holding us up. Let's do other side. So keeping that slight bend in the right knee, leading from your left heel. That leg goes out to the side, release. Exhale, inhale. Again, if you start to feel those toes go up towards the sky, make the range of motion a little bit smaller. I want you to feel the movement engagement of the muscles from your hip, your outer thigh, and your gluteals. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, Last one, release, little shake out. Back to that stable base with our feet shoulder distance apart. We're going to rock onto the balls of our feet and then pull our toes up. So going onto the balls, our heels come up. Going onto our heels, our toes come up. Holding on to that stable surface to start. Feel this movement. So heels come up, exhale. Then rocking back, toes come up. Heels up, toes up. Again, when those toes come up, we're not letting those hips go back. Feel the entire foot from ball of the foot to the heel. Stay nice and tall. Upper body wants to move forward and back with this. Keep the core tight. Exhale, inhale. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, last one, and little shake out. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to move this just a little. I want us to separate our feet a little more than shoulder distance apart now. We're going to transfer our weight side to side. Again, have something to hold on to if you feel most comfortable and stable with that. As you build up strength and confidence in yourself, taking a hand away, both hands for a few repetitions. So the way we're going to start, we have those feet a little bit more than shoulder distance apart. We're going to transfer our weight. All of our weight's going to go onto our right foot. Our left heel comes up, then over to the other side. All our weight on our left foot, our right heel comes up. Just transfer side to side. What you'll start to feel is the core engage because it wants to pull you back to center and keep you stable. If you're perfectly comfortable with those heels up, maybe work on lifting the entire foot up off the ground. All of that weight, right and left. And breathe. Exhale, inhale. You're concentrating, don't lose the core and posture. Keep the slight bend in the knees. 3 more. 3. 1 more on each side. And then bring those feet a little closer together. Little shake out. Again, if you're starting, just transferring weight a little bit and heels coming up, over time, just work on maybe 1 or 2 repetitions of the foot coming off. Feel the core engage. You're going to build up that strength. Again, the confidence as well, and you'll be able to do more over time. So now, we're going to focus just on our right side. So along with our balance, you have to focus on a little bit of strengthening as well. So our first couple of movements will be primarily about strengthening, but we're going to balance on one of our legs. So holding on to our stable surface, nice and lifted. I'm starting with my right side, doing all of the movements that we're about to do. So nice and tall, all we're doing is a single knee raise. That right knee comes up, slow release down. Exhale, inhale. Slight bend in the standing knee, nice and proud through the upper body. Release those shoulders down. Engaging the quadricep, the hip flexor, the lower abdominals. 3 more. 3, 2, last one, release, little shake out. Now we'll put all the focus into the back of our leg, our hamstring curls. Still on right side. We're going to flex that right foot, pressing and leading through the heel as we bend at the knee. Foot comes up behind us, release down. Curl back, release. Again, nice and tall, don't forget our posture. Focusing on the back of your leg, leading that foot behind you. That's your hamstring. Gain that strength. 3 more. 3, 2, last one, release. Little shake out. Next movement, make sure you have a little bit of space across the front of your body because that right leg's still working. We're going to bring that right foot. I want you to toe tap it out to the side. Then if you feel comfortable, we try and bring that foot across the midline of the body and tap. If that is not an option, you can go to a tandem stand or just tap side, feet next to each other. You do what feels best for you. If you've had any recent hip injuries, surgeries, crossing the midline of the body may not be an option for you yet. Come to your tandem stand. Inhale, exhale. Again, light pressure on whatever you're holding on to. 3 more. 3, 2, last one. Just bring the feet next to each other, little shake out. The standing leg will start to feel it because it's holding all of our weight up, but don't worry, we'll get to do that on the other side, so it'll get equal time. So, still on right side, toe taps. Our toe taps front to back. Nice and lifted, slight bend in that standing knee, core tight. Right foot, we toe tap front, bring it behind us. Front to back. Upper body is not moving. Really thinking about that hip. Front, back. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, we'll bring our feet next to each other just for a little shake out. Then we're going to take a step forward with that right foot. So pretend like we're walking. We take a step forward, we stop. We're in a staggered, stable stance. A lot of times when we do some of our movements, all of a sudden, we want to pretend like we usually walk like this. We don't normally walk on a tightrope. We feel stable. Our body opens up those feet at least shoulder distance apart. So that right foot comes forward, we stop, we are stable. Now we're going to transfer our weight like we did laterally side to side. We're going front to back with it. So all the weight on our front foot, back heel up, back foot, front toes up, back heel, front toes. Again, feel the core tighten. It's pulling you back center and keeping you stable. You're perfectly comfortable with heel and toes coming up. Maybe the entire foot comes off the ground. We exhale and inhale. We're not focusing on momentum going front to back. Slow, controlled movements. Tighten through the abdominals. Keep the length in your spine. We'll do 3 more. 3, 2, last one. Keep those feet in your nice, stable, staggered stance. You have something to hold on to. Light pressure, high on the balls of both feet. Release down. Exhale, inhale. Anytime we do our heel raises and we change our foot position, we're still focusing on strengthening our calves, the lower part of our leg, strengthening our ankles, strengthening our feet. We get to different little areas every time we move our foot to a different position. 3 more times. 3, 2, last one. Bring the feet next to each other for a second with a little shake out. Couple more things on this side. I know you're going, whew, this leg's getting tired. This side's getting fatigued. Couple more things. Right foot. I'm going to go a little bit to the side. We are now working on trying to get into a tandem stand, trying to bring our right foot in front of our left. If that is not an option, because that is very hard to do for our balance, and depending on what type of surface you're standing on, if you're on a plush carpet or rug, it's even harder to do. So if that is not an option, you can open your feet slightly or open them like we did when we transferred our weight. I just want them closer together. So if they're not here, have them apart like this, not staggered so much. This is more of a challenge for your balance. This is a huge challenge for your balance. Go where you feel comfortable, but where it is making you work and it's challenging what you're trying to work on. So if you're in whatever stance you're in, here, even if you're open, perfectly fine, still working your balance. Put that slight bend in both knee joints. You're holding onto your surface with those hands. If you feel comfortable, nice and lifted, I'm going to show you the first round. So we'll say we're holding on. All you would do is turn your head to the right and bring it back to center. Turn over to the right, come back center. So that's easy. I can do that. I've got it. Still holding on with your left hand. Right arm goes out, shoulders relaxed. Our gaze stays on that thumb. We bring our thumb out to the side along with that hand. Bring it back to center. You're breathing. Exhale. Inhale. We'll do 2 more. Wherever you're at, you can still be holding on. 1 more. Come back to center. Again, wherever your stance is at, if you're holding on with 2 hands, if one hand is up, the most challenging, both arms go up in front of you. Remember, for some unknown reason, we want to lock through those knees and hyperextend them, thinking that's going to help our balance. It does quite the opposite. It makes us more unstable. Keep the micro bend in those knees, buoyancy in your legs. Focus on equal pressure, ball of your foot to your heel, and what? The abdominals pulled in, working on our core strength and lengthen our spine. So if we already did with our hands down, one up, both can go up. Our gaze stays on our thumbs. We're twisting over to our right. We exhale over to our right. We pull from our core back to center. Again, we're not doing these movements fast. We're making the core do the work. We're exhaling. We're inhaling. We'll do 2 more. Again, wherever you are at, holding on, one arm up, both arms up. Last one. Back to center, release, bring those feet. Little shake out. So we just did all that work on the right side. Before we go over to our left, let's do some airplanes. So we're going to go behind our chair or our stable base that we can hold on to, that surface. Closer your feet are together, more of a balance challenge. Again, if we feel comfortable with those feet shoulder distance apart and that's where we're at, perfect. Keep them there. Over time, work those feet closer together. Unstable base because it's tighter, it's smaller. So, slight bend in the knees, arms are out, relax the shoulders down. We're just bending side to side, those airplanes. So right fingers go down, the left go up. We exhale. We pull from our core back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Again, that focus. Range of motion in our spine, our abdominals, our obliques, the side of our waist are really working to pull us center. We'll do 1 more to each side. And then we'll come back to center, release the arms, little shake out. Yes, you guessed it. Let's work on our left side. Perfect time to grab some water before we go over to the left. Little breather, grab some water, I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. So we did our right side, we got our water break. Let's focus on the left now. So nice and lifted. Again, we're holding on with that right hand if we choose to do so after we do a couple repetitions. If we feel like we can let go, by all means do so if you feel safe and stable. Nice and tall, slight bend in that standing knee joint. Left leg doing the work to lift that knee up. Gently release. Again, building that strength in your quadricep, that thigh muscle, our hip flexor, working on range of motion and building up our lower abdominals. Exhale, inhale, core tight, lengthen the spine, keep that crown of the head straight up towards the sky. 3 more. 3, 2, last one, release, little shake out, our hamstring curl next. So flexing that left foot, we're bending at the knee, leading from the heel, that foot comes up behind us, and release. Curl back, release. Again, don't lose our posture and form as we get fatigued. We did a lot on one side. We start to lose our form because we're getting tired. Pull in through the core, stay tall. Focus on your hamstring, the back of your leg, leading that foot behind you, release. 3 more. 2, last one, release, little shake out. Now that left toe tap to the side, working on bringing that foot across the body if that's available to you, or you go into your tandem or feet next to each other. Keeping that slight bend, we're tall, upper body's not moving. Left foot, we toe tap out to the side, bring that foot across the body. Inhale, exhale. Again, like I said, if you've had any issues with your hip or recent hip surgery or replacement, this may not be available to you yet. Go into your tandem stand, one foot in front of the other, or toe tap, feet next to each other. Side, inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Feet go next to each other. Little shake out. That standing leg starting to feel it now. So now, nice and tall. Left leg, toe taps front to back. So keeping that slight bend in the right knee, core tight, nice and lifted. Again, as we start to get fatigued, for some reason those shoulders want to go up, roll them back, release them down, keep them there throughout the day. Left leg, toe tap to the front. Bring that foot behind you. Inhale, exhale. Again, upper body is not moving. Working on strengthening of the hip, that hip flexion, front, press it back. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Feet next to each other. Again, that little shake out before our next movement. Left side still working. We're taking our step forward with that left foot and stopping. So taking a step like we're walking, we decide not to go any further. Again, we're not on a tightrope. We have a stable staggered stance. Once you find that stable staggered stance and you feel comfortable in it, then we want to transfer our weight. So all the weight goes on the front foot, our back heel up, all the weight on our back foot, front toes up. Do a few of those to feel that movement, the rocking front to back, staying stable through the upper body. Core tightens as it tries to pull you back to center. Say, okay, these are easy, I got it. Bring the entire foot up off the ground. All the weight front foot, all the weight back. Exhale, inhale. Transfer that weight. Let's do 3 more. 2. Last one. Keep those feet in that nice stable staggered stance, holding on to something if you choose to. High onto the balls of both feet. Release down. Heels up. Release. Exhale. Inhale. We'll do 3 more. 3. 2. Last one. Bring the feet next to each other for a second. A little shake out with those legs. And then we're going to take our left foot, bring it in front of the right. Now remember, we're working on going into tandem. That may not be available yet. So you're trying to get left foot in front of right. That does not feel comfortable at all. Separate the feet slightly. Again, we're not opening like we did with our staggered stable stance. We still want it a little unstable. If that, though, does not feel right, then make it more into that bigger staggered stance. You're still getting work if you do this movement nice and slow. So remember, wherever we're at, slight bend goes in both knees. Nice and lifted. Core is tight. We're working on our oblique and our entire core, lower back strength to do this movement. We're holding on to start. All I want you to do is turn that head, look over to the left, then bring your gaze back in front of you, center. Turn the gaze to the side, come back to center. We'll do 1 more like that. Come back to center. If that is challenging enough for you, stay there. You want a little bit more. Left arm goes out, relax that shoulder. Gaze is on your thumb. You exhale over to your left. You pull from your core back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more. Back to center. Now we have 2 options. Just the head is turning, or that left arm is up and we're twisting to the left. You want to go 1 more and really challenge your balance. Both arms are out. Relax your shoulders. Gaze on your thumbs. We're twisting over to the left with an exhale. We're making the core pull us back to center. Slow and controlled. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the abdominals pulled in tight. Exhale. Let's do 1 more. Back to center. Release. Little shake out. Breathe. We want to hold our breath when we're doing some of these movements because they're challenging. breathe into the body, help it work, help it relax. So we have our chair, stable base. Let's just go ahead and focus on our balance now. So we're going to put all of our weight onto our right foot. Equal pressure, ball of your foot to your heel. We're stable through that foot, feeling the entire ground beneath the entire foot. Slight bend in the knee, nice and lifted through the upper body. Wherever we're at, our left toes, are down. Work on bringing that left foot up. We've got 2 hands holding on. Take away one. Work on taking away both. It's really helpful if you can find a point, whether it's slightly in front of you or on the wall in front of you or look straight at me the entire time. Keeping your gaze on a point will help you pull into your core, because I can tell you all day long, keep the abdominals tight, pull into your core. If you don't have that sensation to pull you back into it, which is exactly what keeping your gaze on a point does, then it's very difficult to do. So finding that point, keeping your gaze on it, or looking straight at me, and we're going to count down to 10. So when we're ready, you're going to count along with me. It helps you breathe. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake it out. Breathe. Hopefully you were counting along. That makes you breathe so you don't hold your breath. Other side. All of our weight's on our left foot. Equal pressure, ball of our foot to our heel, then feel grounded through the entire foot into the ground. Slight bend in the knee, nice and proud. Just putting more weight on your left than your right might be your work today, and that's perfect. Keeping good posture might be your work because it adds a lot of strain to the spine if we're used to being hunched over. There's your work. Perfect. Holding that or wherever you are at, challenge yourself. Right foot can come up, one hand, working on both. We're counting down again. Find that point. Look straight at me. 10, down to 1 again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, little shake out. Let's go ahead and have a seat. Just a couple of light lower body stretches, and we get to be done with today's balance workout. Perfect time for you to grab some water as you find your stable seat to go into, and I'll meet you back here. So now that we found our stable seat, let's just do a couple of movements to work the core, focusing on our abdominals to start. And if you watch a lot of my workouts, we do these quite often when we're sitting in the chair. They're just good to really continue to remind us to focus on strengthening the core. So crossing the arms in front of the body, feet walk a little bit out. We're at the front of our chair because we want a lot of space. Keeping length in the spine, we want to lean back in that chair. Abdominals tighten, they pull us back up. Slow and controlled. Inhale, that string pulls us back up. I don't want you to feel your leg muscles, your hip flexors tighten. I don't want you to feel as if you're using momentum and throwing yourself forward. Engage the abdominals, pull you back up. No pain or pressure in your lower back. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. Last one up, nice and tall. Release the arms, walk those feet a little bit closer in now. We're just going to twist side to side, and we're going to add the knee raise along with it. When the knees come up, those are working the core, working lower abdominals primarily. When we twist side to side, we're working our obliques, the side of our waist. We're getting range of motion in our spine, and we're strengthening our lower back, all part of the core. So nice and tall, cross those arms again. We'll alternate right and left. So the right knee comes up, we twist to the right, we exhale. We come back to center, now left knee up, twist left, come center. Exhale, inhale. Keep the abdominals nice and tight. Exhale, inhale. We'll do 2 more to each side. 2, 1 more right, left. Come back to center. Keep the arms in front of the body. Let's focus primarily on our lower back. Length stays in our spine. Chest goes forward. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, nice and tall. Feel as if, even though we're sitting in our chair, that you're hinging from your hip. You're not bending at the waist. So that length stays in your spine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower back leads you to sit tall. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Up nice and tall. Release those arms. Little shake out. Couple of stretches primarily, like I said, for lower body. We'll start with lengthening out through that right leg. Slight bend stays in the knee joint. We're nice and lifted. Walk length out. Once you feel a stretch, then allow your chest to release forward into that stretch. I want you to feel the entire back of the leg, from your calf, back of your knee joint, hamstring through your gluteals into your lower back are all releasing with this, what we call a hamstring stretch. Keep those deep inhales, exhales. Roll up nice and slow. Once you're sitting tall, bring that right foot up and circle the foot around. Again, we need to work on that range of motion in that ankle joint. Mobility, strengthening, stretching. Reverse it, go the other way around. Even open those toes in your shoe. And let's release that down. Lengthen out through that left leg, slight bend in the knee, nice and lifted. Walk your length out, feel your stretch. Allow yourself to release into the stretch and breathe. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Every exhale gets you deeper into your stretch and it releases all that tension and tightness you're holding on to. Let's roll it back up nice and slow. Sitting tall, that left foot comes up, circle that foot around, open up those toes. Again, work on that range of motion in your ankle joint. A lot of times I see this. Think about the ankle. Turn that foot around, reverse it, other way around from the ankle. And release the foot down. Open your feet a little more than shoulder distance apart. Hands are going to go down towards the floor, center of those feet. Length stays in the spine again as you release forward. Once you feel that stretch, entire lower body and back is releasing, then you can put more curve into your spine and let your body release into it. But when we keep the length in the spine, you're gaining length as you go out. Then allow yourself to release and breathe. We'll roll back up nice and slow. Once we're sitting tall, just heel-toe those feet back together, nice and lifted. Just a couple of spinal twists. We'll open up to our right side. Nice big twist as we open up. And through center to the left, twist and open. Body back to center. If you have the ability to hold on to the side of your chair, otherwise put those hands next to you, opening through the shoulders and chest. Feel as if you're squeezing your shoulder blades together on your upper back. And that nice big front body opener. And bring those hands onto your lap, hollow out the belly, arch and stretch your spine, opening those shoulder blades on your upper back, each individual vertebrae opening and releasing into your lower back. Sit up nice and tall, bring those arms down next to you, 3 deep inhales, exhales, then we call it a day. Big deep inhale, length goes up. Exhale, release 2 more times, big deep inhale, length up. Exhale. 1 more big deep inhale, length up overhead. Exhale, release it all out because you are all done with your balance work for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you next time.